All right, so just to continue with the story, basically what happened is, like I said, Katie ended up getting the abortion, and like I said, it wasn't necessarily, it's not that big of a deal because first off, she had to have a cerclage. The baby probably would have had problems because she had a short cervix. Baby probably would have been born premature, a bunch of stuff. So it wasn't that big of a deal. But like I said, it would have been nice if I had my family's help. And I think that was a contributing factor, even though like she might have had it anyways. Who knows? Maybe it is true. The doctor said the baby, maybe there would have been problems. But um, and I wasn't really necessarily that upset with Katie. I was just, it would have been nice if she would have told me what was going on. But like I said, it was so much crazy stuff going on. She thought I was probably crazy. She probably thought she thought I had schizophrenia because that's what, my mom thought. And she thought, that I must be crazy. And, I discovered a theory of everything and I'm dealing with a bunch of crap. So, um, that was difficult. But the main thing I was worried about was that she was going to kill herself because after she had the abortion, or she calls it a miscarriage, but whatever, she said, regardless of whether she had due medically or not, um, after that, she said she wanted to kill herself and all that, and she wanted to be with the baby. So I was really concerned with that. That's the main thing I was concerned about. That's what was really affecting me because I didn't want her to kill herself. So, but like I said, afterwards I started, she helped me get a job, but I started working as a behavior therapist. She wanted me to work in a McDonald's or something, but then I went on that Indeed.com and I got, hired as a behavior therapist, and she's like, "What?" And then I start working as a behavior therapist, and my mom's like, "What? Like you're working as a behavior therapist?" My mom was like, she was like, "Well, my whole life she thought I was schizophrenic ever since, I discovered the quadrant model. She thought I was schizophrenic, but the thing is, like I said, my mom always hated me since the shoot away machine messed up my shot. So, but my mom was like, "What? You're working as a behavior therapist?" She was like, and I was like, "See, I can't be working as a behavior therapist and be schizophrenic. You guys don't know what you're talking about." And now a lot of people are gonna think, like my friend Bill, he's like, "Ryan, well, because I tell him like my family hasn't seen me since high school." He's like, "Well, what, why haven't they seen you? What did you do?" But like I said, everyone wants to blame the victim. Not everyone, but a lot of people want to blame the victim. And I'm like, listen, if they haven't seen me since high school, it was a shoot away machine. But anyways, my mom finally admitted, like, okay, well, you might not be schizophrenic if you're working as a behavior therapist. Like, you can't be work. And then I think that Katie was starting to think the same thing. So I was kind of rubbing in Katie's face, like, look, I'm working as a behavior therapist. And I kept on like texting Katie, but I was texting Katie a lot because I was really worried that she was going to kill herself because she told me that she was, suicidal, and that would have destroyed me. So I kept on also driving by her place to make sure she didn't kill herself, you know? And and it really was I was in a really messed up state, dude. Like after that, like for a while I was in a really messed up state, like mentally. So um I would drive by Katie's place a lot and make sure that she's okay and everything, just to see if her car's there and everything, because or see if she left for work, because I was worried, that she was going to kill herself because that's what she said. And she was saying she wanted to jump off a cliff and doing all this stuff. So then I was really concerned about that. But then at the same time, so I was hanging out with Katie for a little bit afterwards. But then Katie was like, "Ryan, I think it's best that we just don't see each other anymore, and I'll reach out to you if I ever want to talk to you again." But she kind of hinted like it might not ever happen. But I was really upset about that because in my mind, I'm like, listen, I felt like, and I admit that I was a little bit messed up with everything that was going on, but who wouldn't be with my situation, right? My mom and dad hadn't talked to me since high school, really, since maybe like 2 times in college. But and I know it's because of shoot away machine, and I know all this stuff, and I know I discovered theory of everything. I would have been a famous rapper. My mom threw away my raps, like a bunch of stuff. I've been through a bunch of crap, and also I want to figure out the swag flow. I lost the swag flow, and like I said, even that, if my mom and dad would have just been talking to me and seeing me, first off, the reason why I lost the swag flow, I'm not gonna go into details, was because when the after I quit basketball in college, I quit basketball because my shot was messed up because of the shoot away machine. But but then I started figuring it out when I started looking at videos. But then I wanted to get back into basketball. But like I said, I showed my mom and dad the quadrant model, and I wanted them to help me. I wanted their support. But my mom and dad was like, "Oh, you're schizophrenic." I showed them one time. Like, people were gonna think, "Well, you must have been schizophrenic, Ryan. You must have been acting crazy." They only saw me one time, and they come up with all these conclusions. It's bad parenting. They did bad parenting. So I wanted their help, and they're like, "Oh, you're schizophrenic, Ryan. You need to take medicine." And like I said, the reason why they were so prone and so quick to make that judgment was because they already didn't like me from high school, and I think it's because they abused me in high school after the shoot away machine, and they wanted to have an excuse to be like, "Oh," and that's exactly what my mom said. She said, "Ryan, this must have been what happened. Your shot got messed up because you started to become mentally ill." And this is before I ever even knew about the shoot away machine. I only brought the shoot away machine to them after college, so I was like, "No, that's not what happened." And then they're like, "Ryan, you need to take medicine." And then I started yelling at them, and they left. That was the one time they saw me in college. And when they went to my apartment, or that I was staying at, or so, yeah. So I just wanted to get my so then after that, I wanted their help, but they wouldn't help me. I needed support. I discovered a theory of everything. It would have been nice to have some support, but instead I got the opposite. My mom and dad then started persecuting me for real, and they want me to take medicine and stuff. I'm like, dude, I discovered a theory of everything. What the fuck, I need help. I don't need to be persecuted. And so then, but I needed some help. And then that's when I wanted to get back into basketball, and I was watching the videos, and that's when I saw the swag flow. Because like I said, the reason I was so good was because I was unconscious. And I had fan clubs of girls. When I was growing up, I literally had fan clubs, girls, because of my swag flow, because I was so unconscious. And then I became aware of it. I'm not going to go into details, but then that messed me up, And I tried to duplicate it, but I didn't have enough videos to really duplicate it. So I wanted to get more videos. And like I said, but then I tried to get my mom and dad's help for that. My mom and dad were like, "Get over the past. You're stuck in the past." But they got that from my grandpa. And my grandpa, when he said that, it was because he didn't want me to bring up how my dad and mom beat me up, or how my dad beat me up. So he was like, "Yeah, we're Ryan, don't talk about the past ever, because, if you're in the flow, then you're in the moment and you're not talking about the past." So he was just talking about that. I didn't have anything negative about the past. I just knew it was a shoot away machine, and I wanted to, get videos of when I was younger. But my mom was like, "Oh, you don't need videos. You suck at basketball. It wasn't the shoot away machine. It's because you fucking couldn't handle the pressure." No, it was the shoot away machine. It was only the shoot away machine, because I was so good. People don't know how unconscious and good I was. I had coaches say I was the best player they ever coached. Coaches who coached some of the best NBA players. They were saying I was the best player they ever coached. It was a shoot away machine that messed me up. So, but then, I'm trying to fix it. And if I had my mom and dad's support, maybe I wouldn't have been looking at the videos. Maybe I would have just gotten back into basketball. Maybe I wouldn't have even quit in the first place if the shoot away machine didn't mess up my shot, right? And I never watched videos of when I was younger, but it messed me up. Then I became conscious, and, and because I was always unconscious, when I became conscious, it was extra difficult for me, because I'm trying to figure things out, because I was always so unconscious. And I always had fan clubs of girls, and, and I never knew it was because I was so unconscious, So it's terrible. I'm not going to go into details about the swag flow and everything, but it was just bad. So, but then, okay, but at this point, I'm upset because Katie had the abortion, and she said she wants to kill herself. And that's the main thing I'm upset about. I'm not really mad at Katie. I'm upset because I don't want her to kill herself, and I'm scared about that. But then she says, "Ryan, I think it's best that we don't see each other anymore," right? So I didn't want that to happen, because in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, what she's gonna do is she's basically gonna just leave me. And what makes it look like is, this was my fear in the first place, was that she had the abortion just so that she can get rid of me, get me out of her life, because she didn't know I discovered the theory of everything. She didn't know all the stuff, the family background. She thinks I really have schizophrenia and stuff. She doesn't know who the fuck I am, is basically what I'm trying to say. So I'm like, when she says it, I'm like, well, I didn't, at the time I was okay, because I was listening to a lot of audiobooks on Internet Archive, and they were taking down Internet Archive. So I wanted to focus really hard, and I wanted to not waste any time. So I was like, okay, well, if we're not going to see each other anymore, that's fine. I talked to her on the phone. She basically like broke up with me on the phone like that. It's like, okay, whatever. But then I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, dude, this is kind of messed up because she had the abortion, and I'm like, and now she doesn't want to talk to me anymore. And if she's not talking to me anymore, and I waited a couple months, and I kept on texting her like, hey, Katie, stay strong. Please never hurt yourself. I hope you're okay. And I wanted her to respond, but she wouldn't respond, right? But we were on Snapchat, and I saw that she was getting snaps. So that was also bothering me because I was like, well, is she talking to other guys? Like, why would she be Snapchatting other girls? Like, she's probably Snapchatting other guys. And that was kind of frustrating me. So I'm like, yeah, she got rid of me. She had an abortion so she could get rid of me and not talk to me again. So then I started to get upset, So I was upset. The main thing I'm worried about is that she's going to kill herself because that would destroy me because I liked her, But then I'm upset because I'm like, dude, but I don't want her to freaking drop me and then go for another guy after she had an abortion. That would make it seem like she basically had an abortion just so she can get rid of me. So I was really upset about that. So then I started to, I remember I was working as a behavior therapist, but I remember, Katie kept on getting those Snapchats, and that was pissing me off because I was like, dude, because, her snap score would go up. So I'd be like, dude, this means she's talking to other dudes. And that was pissing me off. And I was like, so then I'm texting her, Katie, and I tried to make her feel bad, So this was a little bit of my ego and everything, and I messed things up and I tried to make things happen. But I'm like, Katie, you basically trying to make her into the bad guy about what she did and everything. But then afterwards, I felt bad. I'm like, damn it, because I don't want her to kill herself, and I like her, but at the same time, I don't want her to be with other guys. So I'm like, basically trying to make her feel bad so she won't be with another guy. And because I'm like, if you do that, it's going to make it look like you had the abortion just so you can get rid of me. So that you can fuck other guys. And I was like, that's going to piss me off. That'll make me go crazy, And because at the same time, I still liked her. I was kind of attached to her. And like I said, I hadn't really had too many relationships before, And I had fan clubs of girls growing up, but not really relationships. And things were always, but I literally had fan clubs of girls growing up that, because I had the swag flow, and I'm not gonna go into details about that, but so I was upset about that. So I'm doing that. But then afterwards, after I tried to make Katie feel bad, then I felt bad, and I was like, shoot, was she gonna kill herself? And then, when I was texting her, she finally responded when I was saying all the mean stuff, and she was like, Ryan, please stop. I'm very fragile right now, and that makes me feel really bad. I'm like, because she said she wanted to kill herself, so I'm like, damn it. So I'm going through some crazy shit in my mind. So I would drive by to make sure that she wouldn't kill herself. I would drive by her place and, just make sure her car's still there and stuff, right? But then like one time I drive by her place and I see that her car's not there. So then I'm calling up her family, and I wanted her family, at this time I'm messed up in the head because I'm like, dude, I wanted to have a baby, but she had the abortion, and I want to but I want her family to maybe help me get in contact with Katie because Katie's not talking to me anymore. But what I wanted, and I kept on telling Katie, the only main thing that I want is just to be able to talk to you like once a month, just to make sure that you're okay, And that's what I was trying to tell her family too. Like, I just want to tell her family, I don't need to be with Katie. I'm cool. I don't need to be with Katie. I never even really liked Katie that much to begin with. She's kind of trashy. She's a single mom with a Salvadorian guy. She's a drug user, I didn't really care. I liked her a lot. I liked her. She's cool, but I'm good. I don't need to be with her. But at this point, I felt really bad. And I was like, dude, I don't want her to kill herself. I do like her. I want to be able to just talk to her like once a month just to make sure everything's okay. Just to make sure she's okay, because it's kind of driving me crazy. I have to drive by her place like every day or every other day just to make sure that she hadn't killed herself. Just to see that, It was difficult. So I'm trying to get in contact with her family, but her family wouldn't respond to me. They're not. I never once got in contact with their family. I never associated with any of them. So again, people are gonna think like, "Oh, it's because you're crazy." No, but they never even see me. They never even gave me a chance. And like now, I think that I'm getting the swag flow back a little bit, but they never even saw me. At the time my swag flow was off. So, but now at this point they had never seen me. So it's like, they never gave me a chance to even talk to them really. So, but I want to get in contact with them and tell them like, hey, I'm going through some difficult times because I'm really worried about Katie. I don't want her to kill herself, and I want to be able to just talk to her like once a month. And I'm not a negative person. I really just want, you know, but then, I'm trying to tell my mom, and my mom's like, you see, Ryan, you see, if people don't want anything to do with you, if people want you out of their life, then you have to just accept that. You have to accept no for an answer. And again, this is coming from high school, from the shoot away machine. If it wasn't for the shoot away machine, none of all this crazy stuff would have happened. Because at that time, my shot got messed up. It would have never got messed up because I was always automatic. I never thought. It only got messed up because I was picking the ball off a rack and it messed up the way I shot. And then my dad told me to shoot the wrong way. So, but at that time, I needed my dad's help. And my mom's like, and then my grandpa comes in, he's like, oh, Ryan, everything is one in the universe. And you can't make things happen. And, you need to be in the flow and everything's one and just accept that everything is just fine. So my grandpa's saying all that. And so then I had to, my mom and dad are like, yeah, you can't make things happen, Ryan. You can't make it, you have to accept no for an answer, Ryan. You have to just be, everything is just fine. Yeah, Ryan, everything's just fine. We don't want anything to do with you. We're going to be evil and mean to you and throw you to the side. And you have to accept that everything is just fine. If it wasn't for the shoot away machine, none of this would have happened. But so at this point, I want to talk to Katie, and I'm trying to tell my mom, like, Mom, can you help me talk to Katie? Because I'm going through some difficult shit. I want to be able to see that she's okay. I don't have negative notions in my head. I just want to talk to her every once in a while and make sure she's okay and everything. And I even texted Katie. I was like, can you just like once a month just text me hi or I'm doing fine or something like that, just so I can have that peace of mind. But she wouldn't respond to me. And this is the thing. I discovered a theory of everything by being disrespected so much, So I'm like, I just want to be able to talk to her like once a month. But my mom's like, no, Ryan, if people don't want anything to do with you, Katie doesn't want anything to do with you. She wants you out of her life. Just like, but she basically trying to say like, just like me and your dad want you out of our lives. Just like, and you have to accept that. You have to just accept no for an answer. And I'm like, dude, first off, no. You and dad should not be out of my life. I should not accept that. You guys should talk to me. You haven't talked to me since high school. And again, people are going to say, well, Ryan, you must have deserved it. Like, they must think, you must. But, and then, like, my friend Bill, he's like, well, why isn't your mom and dad talk to you? Well, what did you do? Like, they want to blame the victim. I'm like, dude, I haven't talked to them since high school. I discovered a theory of everything, I haven't talked to them since high school. It's not cool what they're doing. So it's like, no, why do I have to accept no for an answer? No, they should not be acting so stupid. And same thing with Katie in this case, she was being immature. It was immature, it was dumb. She should have talked to me. She should have at least like once a month did what I said. Just like, hey, I'm doing okay. Because I'm going through difficult times. She had an abortion to my baby. I'm fucked up in the head from that. And I'm fucked up mainly because I'm worried about her. But she just throws me to the side. And I'm like, and in my mind, I'm like, dude, I discovered theory of everything. I'm doing big stuff. Why am I being disrespected so fucking much? This is bullshit. So I'm trying to get in contact with her. And so then finally I'm like driving by her place. And then I see that her car her car had been there for like, she hadn't gone to work. So I got really scared. So I'm trying to call up her family like, hey, I'm worried about Katie. She said that she was suicidal. Can you guys go check up on her and stuff? And then there's someone at the gate. And he lets me in the gate, and I go and I knock on her door to make sure she's okay, And I admit there was a part of me that was like, I hope that she's also not with another guy, because like in my mind I'm like, because I still liked her, and in my mind I'm also like, in my mind I'm like that would be also kind of an insult because it would be like that she had the abortion and then so that she could be with another guy. So I knock on her door to just make sure she's okay. She opens the door, she's okay. So I was like, Katie, And she even told my mom later, she's like, Ryan was so nice. She was so good. Yes, I'm a nice fucking person. I'm a good person, Why the fuck are you throwing me to the side? So I'm just like, Katie, but I'm just getting my swag flow back. And I think I figured things out a lot more now. But I was like, Katie, can you please every once in a while, just like maybe once a month, can we just talk? I just want to, because I'm really just concerned about your safety, your well-being and everything. But at the same time, I had to pretend like I came for a reason because I was like, I don't want the police to think that I'm just like stalking her. So I was just like, but I said, and also you owe me money. Because in my back of my mind, I was like, if I say that she owes me money, then if the police ever come, then I could just say, well, she owes me money. And then they think that was a valid excuse for me to see her. So that, again, maybe I was manipulating things. My grandpa would say, you were making things happen. You were using your ego. You were using ego strategies. But the thing is, like, I'm in a stupid situation. Of course I'm using ego strategies. If my mom and dad were fucking helping me, I wouldn't have to go through all this stuff. But my grandpa's whole thing is like, oh, like I said, he got them to not help me, in my opinion. And I'm going to get more into details on that. But, so I'm trying to, talk to Katie, but then my mom and dad are like, my mom's like, well, you can just take no for an answer. She doesn't want anything to do with you, just like we don't want anything to do with you. Talk to me on the phone. I never seen my mom since high school. She only talked to me on the phone, tell me that. And she barely talks to me. She has me blocked most of the time. So I'm trying to talk to Katie, and I'm just like, can we please just talk every once in a while? Because I'm just really concerned for you. And, and then Katie's like, no, well, when I'm ready, I'll tell you. I'll let you know when I'm ready to talk to you. But so then I left, and then but I'm still driving by her place all the time because I want to make sure that she hasn't killed herself, and that's messing up my mind. So I'm gonna get more into details in the next lecture.